Trace the battlements, the arrow slits, the massive iron-banded gates. But beneath your feet, woven into the very architecture you admire, lies a defence system few ever consider. The medieval castle wasn't just engineered to withstand siege engines and scaling ladders. It was built to survive something far more insidious, the slow creeping assault of disease and filth. In an age when a single outbreak could kill more effectively than any army, castle builders created a hidden network of sanitation that turned human waste into both a practical necessity and an unexpected weapon. This is the story of survival architecture, where every stone served double duty, and where the management of the unmentionable became a matter of life and death. The garderobe engineering gravity and fear. Deep within the castle walls, usually tucked into the thickness of the outer fortifications, the garderobe waited in cold, ammonia-scented darkness. These weren't mere privies. They were vertical shafts of ingenious simplicity, carved through 60 feet or more of stone, where gravity became the castle's silent sanitation worker. Picture yourself in the frigid pre-dawn hours, sitting on a wooden seat suspended over nothingness, feeling the wind howl up from below, carrying with it the acrid stench of months of accumulated waste. The shaft dropped straight down through the masonry, emptying into the moat below or into a rushing river that carried the evidence far downstream. At coastal fortifications like St. Andrew's Castle, the designers positioned these shafts over sheer cliff faces where the tide itself became the flush mechanism. The garderobe's genius extended beyond simple disposal. Medieval castle dwellers discovered that the overwhelming ammonia fumes rising from the waste below repelled moths, fleas and lice, so they hung their finest garments in these rooms. The very word garderobe translates to guard the robe, a testament to this accidental pest control. But this convenience came with a price. The shafts were desperately cold, and they represented a critical vulnerability. During the siege of Château Gaillard in 1203, French soldiers exploited this weakness, climbing up through the filth-encrusted darkness to breach the fortress. Imagine the determination required to scale that reeking vertical tunnel, hands slipping on stone slick with excrement, knowing that one misstep meant a fatal plunge. The romantic image of castle moats couldn't be further from medieval reality. These weren't decorative water features. They were open sewers, thick with human waste, kitchen refuse, and decomposing animals. The moat became a festering biological barrier, its surface covered with greenish scum, the water opaque with suspended filth. Any attacker unfortunate enough to fall into this putrid soup faced almost certain infection. The medieval defenders didn't understand germ theory, but they could see the results when wounds exposed to moat water turned fatal. In castles without natural water, cesspits required regular emptying by gong farmers, men who worked under darkness to shovel out accumulated filth. These labourers were both essential and, well, ostracised, paid well for work no one else would touch. They hauled waste beyond the castle grounds, sometimes selling it to farmers who, understood that it enriched their fields. This cycle represented a rudimentary sanitation system that honestly kept disease from overwhelming the castle population entirely. In the Middle Ages, people believed that disease was caused by miasma, that is, the idea that bad air itself carried sickness. Now, while this theory wasn't scientifically accurate, it actually led to practical behaviors that, interestingly enough, helped reduce the spread of disease. Folks living in castles would scatter aromatic herbs throughout their quarters, often burning rosemary and lavender to, mask the terrible stench. They also plastered the walls with lime wash, which, without them realizing it, killed bacteria on contact. Stone basins called lavabos offered opportunities for hand washing that interrupted contamination chains. The rushes strewn across floors absorbed spills and waste, masked odours, and provided insulation. When too fouled, servants replaced them with fresh layers, removing accumulated debris. Standing in these ruins today, we can read the landscape of survival etched into stone. Medieval castle dwellers faced an enemy that struck silently. Disease killed indiscriminately and often lethally. Their response was pragmatic engineering. Use gravity, harness natural water flow, create distance between living spaces, and waste. These principles echo through every modern survival situation. Sanitation isn't glamorous, but, well, it's the foundation of sustained survival. The castle builders knew this truth intimately, building it into their walls. If this glimpse into forgotten defensive engineering has captured your imagination, do hit that subscribe button for Fieldcraft Chronicles. Share this video with fellow history enthusiasts and survivalists who understand that, really, the best lessons come from those who had no choice but to adapt or perish.